Since you have a chance to go through the film now on the Kansas State game, what were your overall impressions of the offense?
From the time we got here, we talked about identifying that identity of him being physical, and I think we accomplished that this weekend. I thought those guys imposed their will, and we dominated the line of scrimmage. And those guys up front, tight ends, and the ball carriers were running really hard too. So it was definitely a really good first step, against a really good opponent. A team that's always been really good, always been really physical, and so I thought that was a good challenge and a good test for us to start off.
How much does Coach Hudd help this week with the game planning and all that stuff? He's so familiar with that personnel.
Yeah, I think you hit it on the head. I think it's the personnel, being familiar with the talent that they have and who those players are, and they have quite a few transfers and stuff too. So there's some new guys that he isn't familiar with, but it's been really good to have him here and kind of give us some insight to some of those guys.
What you're seeing on film from Nick and from Keaton missing passes, is that things that you look at and you say that's correctable, or is it a problem that has you concerned long term?
No, definitely not concerned. I think that's as much as getting those game reps. You talk about Keaton first game of the year, and you talk about Nick for his first game of the year. So we're throwing the ball down the field too. Those aren't easy completions. Those aren't 100% completion balls. So we'll continue to get those relationships with Nick and the receivers and tight ends and running backs, and like you said, those are all correctable things that with more repetition we're going to do. Be able to get better every single day. In each game, you guys will see an improvement.
Does that play into what Coach said yesterday, that you want to keep the explosive plays, just work on more consistency?
Yeah, absolutely, because we left some out there. We as the season continues to go, we're not going to be able to leave those out there and continue to win games. So that'll be critical for us to continue to get sharp at those and just keep sharpening the axe, and that's what we're doing. And even today we went out there and did a really nice job of hitting some of those. So that'll continue to get better, but it's definitely a focal point.
Have you been pleased with the way the ball's been spread around to the receivers? Because there's really not just one particular guy that's had just a standout game. It's been kind of spread around to everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I've said that before in here. That's this offense. We're going to take what the defense gives us, and that's going to continue to change from game to game and within each game. So it's important that we have people at all the positions. It's definitely not a one-man show. This is not. It's driven through the quarterback, but we need to have guys across the board that can function and play at a high level. So hopefully we continue to see that. Like you guys are saying, though, we just hope the production continues to grow each and every week.
With what Kylan did on Saturday, is that something that you guys kind of anticipated during fall camp? Did it kind of catch you off guard with how good a day Kylan Hill had on Saturday?
No, it definitely didn't catch us off guard. I mean, Kylan has gotten better every single day. From spring, he came to camp and he earned the starting position. I don't think anybody would say differently. He came out, and his mentality, his approach, his work ethic has been outstanding, and that's all paying dividends for him right now. And he's a heck of a player too. And you put all that together, and he's going to have hopefully more days like that.
Hadn't seen much of Jamal Couch or Malik Deer yet. What do those guys need to do to get some increased reps?
They're doing what they're doing in practice and continuing to work hard and getting those reps. And right now, some of the other guys have just have stood out and done a really nice job and have been just a little bit more productive when it comes to being in the practice field or in the scrimmages from camp and then taking opportunities on the field. So. We're spreading it around from each position. Hopefully we can continue to get more guys opportunities and more reps. And they're one play away from taking someone else's spot. They really are, or even putting them into the rotation. So I'm pleased with their effort. We feel like that there's some other guys that have just done a really nice job and earned the opportunity to be where they're getting all the reps that they have gotten.
Dante Jones has a couple big catches this year. How much of a factor do you see him being down the line?
He's a young pup, and hopefully each week he gets a little bit more. That's kind of been our, we're excited about him, and that's kind of been our plan with him. And hopefully we can, we only had 10 drives, I think it was last week, so the opportunities weren't as many. But we're excited about Dante. I think he has a bright future here, and hopefully he continues to get more opportunities. But the guys in front of him are doing a heck of a job, so it's hard to pull those guys off the field. So. That's one of those tough situations that you get in. It's a good situation to be in, though.
Watching the game in Kansas State, your interior three, Jenkins, Williams, and Calhoun, just opened up so much for Calhoun, whether it was pulling, all kind of blocking. Is that the line work you saw from them in camp?
Oh, absolutely. Those three are a rock now. I mean, we will go as those guys go, and they did a hell of a job in that game. I mean, that was outstanding. And setting the mindset, and don't leave out Greg, Tyree, and Stu either, because they were part of that as well. I mean, they set the tone. They were physical, and they were attacking all day long, and we didn't take our foot off the pedal, which is what that's going to have to be our style of play all year long.
One interception on Saturday. That was a particularly bad throw from my vantage point. Anyway, what did you see about that on film? What did you see? What did Nick tell you that he saw?
No, I think it was more of there was things at his feet, and he was trying to get rid of the football, and he just did a poor job of doing that. We just got to be sharper with the ball whenever we're making those decisions. He knew there was an issue, and there was, and he was trying to get rid of it, and you can't make a bad play worse. And so he'll learn from that. And I thought he did a really nice job protecting the football while he was running it in for every other decision he was making. So, can't let one play affect the way you view somebody, and he'll grow from that for sure.
As a coordinator, when a team has a guy like Jeff Simmons, if you were scheming against a defense that had a Jeff Simmons that can eat up so much space there, how does that affect what you do?
Well, it totally affects what you do, because when you have somebody like that, you have to decide how you're going to handle him. Are you going to double team him? Are you going to not block him and read him? Are can you have one person block him? And so those are the decisions you have to make when you're putting a game plan together. And so the problem that I think opponents are going to have is there's it's not just Jeffrey. So it gives Jeffrey some opportunities to be one-on-one, and that's what up front's all about, winning those one-on-one battles. And so yeah, absolutely. If you're not game planning for him, then you're probably not doing the right thing.